Hey y'all, it's me again, the Rock Doctor, coming at you live with another installment of Must Know Rock Guitar Moves. Today, I'm going to continue in the series of Breaking Out of the Blues Box, Escape from Blues Box Island. And I'm going to be in the key of E today. I'm going to use my backing track at E number 1, which I'll include in the link. And here's what I wanted to do today. We've got a couple things to do, but I looped the first section of the track. And it's just, if you strip it down, it's just a couple of chords. So let me fire it up first, and I'm going to play along with the track the way I wrote it, and then I'm going to stop, fire it up again, and I'm going to play along with it the way I think of it when I'm jamming over it. What's important to me when I'm putting licks to this thing, okay? And as always, on my channel, most of the chord patterns are 2 measures long. The licks are 2 measures long. Of course, that could change, but for now, I keep that as my constant most of the time. 2 measures of chords, 2 measures of a lick that goes over top of it. All right, let me fire this thing up. So I'm going to play this thing the way I wrote it. I'm going to play along with it again the way I think of it when I'm playing, applying licks to it, okay? And we'll talk about that. So what's happening here? I've got a measure of E, 2, 3, a measure of D. That's the first phrase. Then D, second phrase, E. One more time, check it out. E, 2, 4, D, 2, 3, D, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4. And that's how I'm applying my licks to this thing. Now, as far as what I decided I wanted to try to do today, let me go to the dry erase board. All right, take a look. Right here, look. I've got the basic chord progression listed here. I'm in the key of E minor. The main chord, the primary chord, is E minor. So we're going to use the E pentatonic minor scale. So let's look at that first. I decided to start with pentatonic minor scale number 3, the one in the 7th position where, look, the red dot there is the E note. That's how I find it. The E note is on the A string 7th fret, so that shape lives there. It's really the same as this shape if you look. Look at the red dot and the big stretch. See it? 12th fret, that's the same thing. Then look, 2 little stretches right next door. See them? 7 to 9, 7 to 9. And look over here at the 12th fret. Same shit. See it? Now look over here. On the G string scale number 1, it's also 12 and 14. But over here, if you look over, because of the tuning, it's offset by 1 fret. I raise it up. So that's 8, 10. And then going back over here, look. When I get that far, when I get to the B string, I'm going to play 12 and 15. Well, that is represented right over here, 7 to 10. So it's basically the same scale. It is. And again, look at the chords again. I've got a lick that covers E minor to D. And then the other one is D to E. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to play a lick in the 7th position, one of my essential licks, and I'm purposely going to end it on the D, because the phrase lasts for 2 measures, so do the chords, and I'm going to end it on a D. The second phrase is going to cover the D to E minor change, and I'm going to purposely end it on E. The third phrase is going to end on D again, and the 4th phrase is going to end on E. And I'm going to work my way up the neck. Now, how do you learn how to do that? It doesn't just happen by accident. You got to practice these situations. So, you can use this little example, learn it first, and you can try it in other keys as a way to move up the neck a little at a time, based on your knowledge of where, in this case, where the pentatonic scales are, and how your licks apply to those shapes, right? All right. All right, now let me fire this thing up again, and hopefully I'm going to play all 4 licks, and then I'll talk about them. And I'll include tab, too, of course. All right, here's what was going on. The first lick, let me just play it. It's my, what I call the 2 frets back move. It's really not mine. It's not. I found the E note on the A string 7th fret and moved back 2 frets, and I played this guy. I ended on D because the chord progression at that point is on D, so it's going to sound good. It's a chord tone of the chord underneath, okay? Just follow the tab for the fingerings. That'll save time. All right, the second lick, I'm in the 7th position again, and I'm descending down. This is basically my essential lick number 2, but this time it starts on the E string. Here it is. And I ended on E because the chord underneath at that moment was freaking E. Alright. The third lick, before I play it, let me say this. This third lick is up here on the B string. Well, let me just play it. It's this guy. And really where that's coming from is this. That's my essential lick number 4 modified a little bit. And when you do it in this position, instead of being on the G string, it's on the B. And I ended it up on a D because the chord underneath was D. The final lick, this one is a series of triplets that travels up the neck. And first let me play it. So I've got this. Let me count that one for you. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now how did I find that one? That's not part of this 7th position shape, is it? No. Look at these 4 notes. First off, the way I find it, I have 2 ways to have a point of reference on it. The first one is this. I know that these 4 guys right here are an octave above the notes that happen in the normal shape. So that's one way I find it. The other thing I use as a reference point is for this 7th position pentatonic where the root note's on the A string, I know that these 2 notes happen on the 2 high notes of the basic shape. In other words, look. Right there. Right there. See? And again, I'm not going to walk you through the fingering this time. Let me play the lick again. Just use the tab. It's an ascending triplet sequence. And I ended on E at the end. And look, it was again 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, for the hell of it, let me put the track on again and let me play all 4 licks. You can see that I'm locking into the groove. I stop on the chord tone of the chord underneath every time. That's very important. I'm using the root note, but you can use other notes as well. All right, let's do it again. D note for the D chord. E note for the E chord. D note for the D chord. E note for the E chord. Yeah, you gotta line that shit up. Or you're gonna sound like you almost know what you're doing, and we don't want that to happen here on the Rock Doctor channel. So yeah, to break out of the blues box, and there's nothing wrong with staying there and only playing out of it. No, nothing at all. But if you want to get to the point where you can use more of the neck, you have to practice those situations. You have to have something. So learn these couple licks. They're not really mine, right? I stole them. I've been hearing them for whatever 50 years, and they still get used. In every genre, pretty much. So that's the best way to do it. Just follow along, learn what I've done here, transfer it to a different key. You'll have to make modifications on how to end the phrase, to fit the chords underneath. But these licks will fit just about anything if you know what to do with them, especially how to end them. All right, so that's it. It's me, the Rock Doctor. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, order me a pizza. No vending machine pizza. And find me a hot chick bass player. That would be really cool. Thanks. I'm out of here. Bye.